Welcome to Social Work Sunday Tea. It is March, the 21st, 2021. It's a great day to be alive and well. We are in the land of the living, so it's spring, good energy, good vibes. Today we have a special guest. If you can just introduce yourself and we can get well acquainted with the audience. Make sure you like, subscribe, tune in, share. You can go ahead.
Hi, my name is Makeda, and I am the founder of a nonprofit called Ayaba Rising. And what we do is we give women the resources that they need to have an empowered life. And what I believe is that it truly starts from inside. So that's your emotional and your mental health and wellness, and then everything else flows with that. So that's what we do.
Okay. How long have you been in existence as far as your organization?
For about a year.
Okay.
Yeah, about a year.
Okay.
Very new.
So what made you get into that, I guess, be into that field or, wanting to help people?
Well, I've always been interested in empowering women. I think that it started with me learning how to empower myself. I've been through a lot in my life and I had to heal myself. And I learned a lot of tools along the way. And I learned about, going to counseling and just different things like that. And I feel like that has helped to open up so many other doors in my life. And these are things that I just want to teach or show other women that, there are things that can be offered to you if you just kind of open up to the resources that are available to you. Mental health and wellness is not taboo. It's something that affects us all on some level, especially now during the pandemic. We're all affected in some way. So I think it's time for us to really work on ourselves. And then in doing so, we pretty much positively affect those around us.
Absolutely. Yeah, I say this year is the year of healing.
Absolutely.
Last year is kind of like rediscovering and like, ooh, what is this?
Yeah.
And it's an ongoing process. It's just not straight, okay, I'm done. No, it's an ongoing. You evolve every day. And so I say this is the year of healing and being able to, identify what's what. So
Yeah.
So
I agree. And it's interesting that you said rediscovering because I think that the pandemic forced us to really sit still. And in doing so, we had to realize, okay, well, who am I? If I'm not the person that goes into work every day, I'm not the person that has all these hobbies or does this and that. Like, who am I at my core? And that's where we are kind of understanding our true selves.
absolutely. So it's time. It's time. And today's topic is women's self-worth. So I'm going to give a definition real quick. Webster says self-worth is defined a feeling that you are a good person who deserves to be treated with respect. Self-esteem is what you think and feel because of ourselves. Self-worth is recognizing I am greater than all those things. Wow. Okay.
That's deep.
Okay. Yeah. What is your definition of self-worth?
Well, I think self-worth is you define yourself and you're not defined by the things that are outside of you. You are defined by who made you and whose you are and where you come from.
Yeah.
So it's stripping away, like I said earlier, stripping away everything and being the core of who you are, which is powerful and divine. Like that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely. So the different meanings of self-worth and self-value, it's kind of like go hand in hand. When you interact with one of your clients and what is that like for someone that hasn't discovered their self-worth, having self-esteem issues, self-value, they don't look at them, they don't deem themselves worthy of whatever they look after, or seek after. So how do you go as far as processing and be able, I guess, a treatment plan or a goals? How would you address that as far as helping in healing?
Sure. Well, first, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist. So
Yeah.
I go based on a holistic perspective, and I bring in therapists
Okay.
obviously to help, through that journey.
Absolutely.
But in the beginning, I believe it's important to just really identify yourself, really just say, who you are, because a lot of times your self-esteem has been stripped away because of your experiences or your past, or somebody told you that you weren't worthy. So it's just about kind of refueling and re-putting those pieces back together to really identify yourself. So you can just simply say, I'm a woman, I'm a mother, I'm
Mhm.
strong, I'm independent. You're now creating affirmations that are positive about yourself.
Yeah.
And then you can even go into how you talk about yourself through habits. I share some of the things that I do. I have on my mirror, in my bathroom mirror, I have
Mhm.
Post-it notes
Okay.
that are affirmations. So these are things that I share with the women. Like, these are things you can do just on a daily basis to help you kind of refuel yourself, re-identify with who you really are.
That's a good thing. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely, and also journal too. You know,
Yes.
write it down, write
Yes.
vision, write it down. What do you want yourself to look like?
Yes.
Be like. I
Yes.
think that's the most important. I'm doing that now.
Yes.
I'm just gonna give a quick testimony. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
thought I wasn't worth, like I wasn't worthy of having or,
Mm-hmm.
or receiving.
Mm-hmm.
I can have all the degrees in the world, but I still feel worthless.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and just trying to redefine what does that look like for me. And it's an ongoing process. I think more so of loving myself a little bit more, way more than before,
Yeah.
putting myself for, okay, what does Shakia need?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what a lot of women, we put everybody else in
Yes.
front of ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
like we don't focus on us. Like, what can we, help develop and,
Yeah.
increase, and
Right.
that's where I fell short of. Even in relationships, I tried to put people in front of me, like, okay, whatever he needs,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do it. Yes,
Yeah.
I made sure that he was worthy,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't get it. But that's another story. But I didn't
No,
get it.
I'm with you.
I
I'm
didn't get
with you on
it
that. Or you try to fit yourself into a box and be
absolutely.
the person that you think they need you to be, rather than just being like, look, this is me. Like,
Yeah,
it is what it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
So yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
Yes. So I was just like, okay. And then, so my self-esteem level, it was my worth, what I viewed of myself
Mm-hmm.
kept going
Mm-hmm.
down. And I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, what I need to do. I'm
Yeah.
having a therapist that helped. After that relationship was over with, having a therapist, and there's nothing wrong with having a therapist. I just want
Right.
everybody to know
Yeah.
there's nothing, there's nothing wrong. You're not
No, not at
crazy.
all.
Nothing's wrong with you. Have a therapist
Yeah.
where you can, unpack that luggage,
Mm-hmm.
those bags.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, yeah, my self-esteem, and it's kind of like, what's the difference between, okay, self-worth versus self-esteem? Like,
Mm.
what's the, like, as far as like versus that?
Is there really a difference?
Right.
Is there really a difference? I don't know. That's a good question, actually. I would say the self-worth is internal. It's
Okay.
you're automatically worthy. Like, you're on this earth. Like, the fact that you're here and you're alive and you're, healthy, you're good.
Yeah.
Already your self-worth is higher than you probably even imagined it was. Sometimes people's self-esteem is based on like how you look or how you dress or
Yeah.
your career, your job, or something like that. And it could go up and down.
Yeah.
I think your self-worth should just be constant, like no matter what. Like, I'm always worthy. Like, and it is what it is. And it takes, like you were saying, it takes a long time to get there. And even me, like, I still have to remind myself, because
Good.
sometimes I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. But like you said before, you write it down and
Yeah.
you go back and look at it every day, and then it kind of reprograms your brain to go in that direction.
Absolutely. Yeah. It varies. Like you said, it's kind of like a different levels. Okay. You get
Yeah.
5 steps and then something happened. It was like,
You like all the way back down again.
get back down to where it is. It's like, okay, so how can we keep that momentum going? How
Mm-hmm.
do you keep that momentum going as far as chugga, 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 chugga?
Yeah.
How we get that? How can we
Mm-hmm.
give some examples of how can we keep that pushing, keep that
Yes.
going?
I
Yes.
love this question.
Yes.
I think the number one thing is to forgive yourself.
Mm,
Like, don't be so hard on yourself. And I
mm,
have to do this for myself. Like, we make mistakes.
yeah,
Like, we're not perfect. Like, we're human and it's okay. Like, you're still fine. Like, you're
yeah,
good no matter
yeah,
what. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. And most times you're more harsh on yourself than other people. Like, you're thinking about more about yourself than other people are even thinking about you. So,
yeah.
that's number one. Just have grace and forgive yourself and be compassionate with yourself and love yourself. And the second one is to start fresh every day. Like literally, if I have a bad day on Monday,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this is not a good day. Tuesday, I got to be like, okay, I got to start all over. And I
Absolutely.
can't think about what happened on Monday. And I literally have to start all over again on Tuesday. So every single day, start fresh, start over.
Yeah.
So those are the two big things for me.
Yeah. It's just I would say self acceptance. You got to
Right.
accept this is who
Yep.
this is who I am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Accept that you have some areas where you need to elevate
Yeah.
and change.
Yeah.
And so, what does that look like as far as the healing process or the changing process for a person that doesn't value themselves to a person
Mm-hmm.
that they do value themselves,
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
yeah.
I think a lot of that is understanding why you do what you do.
Mm,
Why am I getting into these toxic relationships? Why
mm,
am I accepting disrespect? Or why am I accepting people talking to me any kind of way? Like, why am I putting up, with a job that, you have to kind of look at like, okay, why am I here? It's kind of like backtracking.
yeah,
And then when you backtrack, you
yeah,
like you put the self-acceptance goes into that, the forgiving yourself goes into
yeah.
that, the therapy goes into that, and then you can kind of redefine and kind of form a new path from there. I hope that answers the
No,
question.
no, 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 it does.
Okay.
No, 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 you on track. I'm just,
Okay.
yeah, I'm trying to get this.
Yeah, but it's kind of backtracking, like,
Yeah,
okay, why? And I know for me, I've been in some relationships and I'd be like, wow, why was I there? Why was I accepting that?
yeah,
Okay, hold on, wait a minute. No, we're not accepting that anymore. And then you just readjust.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Christy says self-evaluation.
Absolutely.
Woo,
Hmm.
yes, girl, yes. She said taking notes. Yes. So it's kind of like you have to self-reflect,
Yeah.
self-evaluation.
And that could be painful too, to see yourself like, man, oof.
Yeah, I'm like, dang, I'm like this. But
Yeah.
it's the reality. It's
Yeah.
the reality check. And I'd rather have a reality check, you know, for myself instead of somebody pointing it out, like, hey,
Hmm.
you defensive, like
Yes.
defense, like, hold on, wait a minute,
Yeah.
that ain't none
Hmm.
of your business.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, but it's just the it's mind blowing, I'm like, man, I'm like this. Okay, so
Mhm.
what do I need to do to change or to heal? And I say therapy. Therapy is number one. First of all,
Number one.
self-evaluation,
Yeah.
therapy, and continue on.
Right.
Keep going and going. I think that we get to one level and be like, okay, I'm good. Don't tell me no more, like
Right. Nope.
I'm
Nope. Nope.
good. No, it's an ongoing.
Absolutely.
Um, how do you, as far as what would you tell your younger self
Mm.
about self-worth and looking back then to now?
Mhm. Ah, I would first tell my younger self, you're fine. You're good. You know what I'm saying? You're fine. You're good. Like you're strong. Like I would affirm myself. And also I would say you can get anything that you want. Like whatever it is that you feel you deserve, you can have it. You
Yeah,
don't have to settle for anything.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that. Like,
Hmm.
don't tolerate. Stop
Hmm.
tolerating and stop settling
Yeah.
for less than, because it's like whatever we think we can manifest. Whatever we
Right.
think, we manifest. And I'm
Yes.
doing that more and more and more and more.
Yeah. And it's like it's easier than you think. All you gotta do is write it down and just
Yeah,
kind of believe it and
yeah. And say
work.
it.
Right.
Say it. Yeah.
Right.
Like, I'm worth more. Like even in relationships, like I want this. Like
Mhm.
and some people might think it's like cocky. I don't care anymore.
Sorry.
Yeah. Don't rush, don't settle, stay focused.
Yep.
That
Yep.
is
Those three
the
things.
that's
Hmm.
it. I think I was saying about relationships, like, hey, hey, if you feel like I'm being cocky, oh well, like some things I'm not gonna cause harm to myself, my mental health, because
Hmm.
when you're in a relationship, it's kind of like a give and take. But when you get
Yeah.
they're just takers, and
Yeah.
I did a live on givers and takers, and
Woo.
you got
That's
takers,
a
you kind of they suck the self-worth out of
ooh.
you too. So you kind of
Especially if you're an empath, which I don't know if you got into that, but
no, we can talk about that right now because look, it's definitely, but it damaged your self-worth, your
Mhm.
self-esteem because
Mhm.
of that. But
Mhm.
we can talk about that. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, like a lot of time as an empath, you just I want to help, I want to be there. Well, they're just going through stuff. Well, let me just, and it's good to be compassionate
Yeah,
about people, but I think it's even you gotta. It's not gonna sound good, but you almost have to be a little selfish with your compassion
yeah,
because people like naturally are gonna take, and they may not even realize it. So you have to kind of set those boundaries and be like, okay, hold on, let me just make sure I'm good first. You
yeah,
get the leftover, but I have to make
yeah.
sure my own cup is filled up first.
Listen, because even with friends, family
Yep.
members,
Mhm.
companions,
Mhm.
your cup sometimes it just be empty and dry, desert dry, and you just
And
trying to
they don't teach that, I think, to women. They
no,
don't teach us that we're supposed to fill up our own cup first. We're supposed to be what we're taught is, we got to be a wife, you got to be a mom, you got to be this, you got to be that.
yeah,
But we have to be all of that to ourselves
yeah,
first.
yeah. That's definitely that's what that is.
Yeah.
Because
Speechless.
right, exactly. Because if we don't, then we're gonna keep drowning.
Yes,
We're gonna keep
absolutely.
drowning
Absolutely.
in our sorrows, and we're trying to figure out why we're so emotional, why
Hmm.
we're so depressed.
Hmm.
I get a little down. I'm not gonna say I'm a little depressed. I ain't gonna lie to you, like a little depressed. Like when stuff doesn't go, my way, or I don't feel less. I feel less than. In a particular area. Just the idea of the unknown. I think that's for me.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I
Hmm.
I think that's for me. Don't know what, when, how, and I'm still, still trucking,
Hmm.
still going,
Hmm.
but in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, kid,
Hmm.
like,
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know. Like, am
Yeah.
I worth, even question this podcast, like,
Hmm.
am I even worth, doing this? And I'm
Hmm.
being honest, I'd rather be honest with myself, like, people won't listen, or and I know God, he's like, keep doing it, you don't know who's listening, so
Yeah.
it's like, but I doubt myself sometimes, and
Hmm.
I try not to self-sabotage it, but I know it's going to be successful, I know people gonna hear about it,
Yeah.
but it's just that thing in the back of your mind, like, and my self-esteem level kind of like go down, and it's like, okay, keep going, you got it,
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yep.
And I think for women, I think we just need, and we also need those type of friends that
Yeah.
push you along the way.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I see you, girl.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. And having a big support system,
Yeah.
man.
I
That's,
agree.
as a woman, you need that. You need
Hmm.
someone that can be able to not jealous of you
Oh
or
yeah.
want what you have,
Hmm.
but
Like a
to,
cheerleader.
yeah, you definitely need
Uh
those.
huh. We
Um,
sure do. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Someone said, my therapist told me to say I have lows instead of saying I'm depressed. What we pour in ourselves is important and impactful.
I
Right.
like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes it more like a norm, because
Yeah.
nobody's up all the time. Like we
Yeah.
have highs and lows.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Thank you, Christy. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just very much important understanding a woman, we as women,
Mhm.
we take on the load. We take on
Yeah, we
loads,
sure
and loads.
do.
And
We
so
do.
what are some tips to find self-worth? I think we did some of it, sir, as far as like put affirmations
Oh
on
yeah.
there in the journal. What are some other things we can do?
Some other things are create. You know what I'm saying? Like do things that you enjoy doing. It could be painting. It could be I have a coloring book.
Yeah,
I color. I sometimes paint. Or do something that is creative. Like
yeah,
if you like to sing, just do something that you enjoy.
yeah,
It'll help to boost. You might not even realize it, but it's helping to boost your worth because now you're like, okay, I didn't even know I could sing out here. I'm out here, and people are like, so, what do you do? And you don't just have to say, well, I'm a mother and I'm a wife and I'm a teacher. You can say also, I also, can play the piano, I do this and that. So
yeah,
doing other things that you enjoy that help fulfill you,
yeah.
I think helps a lot.
Absolutely. And make
Hmm.
things happen. Like,
Yep.
and challenge yourself to do something
Yes.
new.
Do stuff out of your comfort zone for
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can
Yep.
say, yeah. I think another thing what we can do is stop beating ourselves up. Like I think
Yeah.
you said that. You said
Hmm.
that. Stop beating ourselves up and only, define you. I think that's the most important thing. Explore new hobbies, like you said,
Hmm.
and responsibilities. It's kind of like a trial and error type thing.
Yeah, just be free. Just try something new. If it works, that's
Yeah,
cool. If it don't work, that's cool. But if it works, that's
yeah,
great.
yeah,
You've
yeah,
now had a new experience.
yeah, and do what makes you feel good.
Yes.
And I think, you know, um, a lot of people they was like, oh, don't the older generation, oh, baby, you shouldn't be doing that. And I'm like, well, I only got one life. I want to do what I want to do. I
Yeah.
do
Hey, this
everything
me.
I
This what
want
I'm
to do.
do.
Right,
Yep.
but I want to do
Hmm.
what makes me happy, and I
Hmm.
don't want to cause um self pain, or I
Hmm.
don't want to cause any harm to myself, my mental. I want to do
Hmm.
things that makes me happy, and also stop comparing ourselves to other people.
Oh, that's a big one. That is.
Yeah, I wrote
Whew.
notes. I got notes. I
That's a
think,
big one right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
as women we compare, our bodies, our body type look like. Oh, I want to have, even though I want a flat stomach. I'm working on it, but just comparing. Oh,
Yeah.
she has this, or oh, I'm gonna up her.
Mhm.
One up, whatever they say.
Mhm.
I'm trying to get ahead of someone else, but
Yeah.
we're a reflection of each other. That's
Yep.
that's how I feel.
I agree.
Doing
I agree.
something. Look, I'm winning too.
Yep.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right,
Mhm.
sister. Yeah, you
Yep. So
what
we
we
both
doing?
coming up. We winning. Yep. Uh-huh.
Exactly. And I think a lot of women we don't connect in that way.
No.
And it builds, like it builds our self-esteem, our
Mhm.
self-confidence, because we say, oh, I see you. If you
Yeah.
do it.
Right. It's inspiring. It's inspiring.
Yeah, I don't think that people like I don't think women understand that. Like
Yeah.
it's a domino effect. You
Mhm.
know, whoever I'm connected to, hey, you win. If I win, you win.
Mhm.
What you got going on?
Mhm.
If you got a small business, what you got? Let me get some of that. Let me buy a
Yeah.
whole bunch of at the price. I don't want no discount.
Right.
So
Yep.
I just want to I just want to I want to see you grow. I want to see you win.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people they miss that mark. And yeah, I just think that like they miss the mark. They don't know how important it is for women to be able to connect and vibe out and feed
Mhm.
off each other
Mhm.
and things like that. It's just it's kind of sad. So
It is.
yeah,
It is. Especially in this, I gotta say, in the social media culture where everybody gotta be showing out, you gotta be your best self, on social media. It's hard to not compare yourself in that way.
yeah,
But we are all individuals. We all got something to bring to the table for sure.
yeah, absolutely. And I think that, that's when you identify, like, okay, what am I?
Mm-hmm.
What am I bringing to the table? What can I bring? What can I contribute to this
Yeah.
party? You got greens, I got macaroni.
Yeah.
Because it's Thanksgiving. Everybody.
Yeah.
So, I be coming up with metaphors, getting together. But yeah, like I just think that it's so important as far as with self-esteem and
Mm-hmm.
self-worth and building. I think it all starts from adolescence, what you pour into your child, like, hey, you beautiful, like
Mm-hmm.
you can't
Mm-hmm.
conquer the world, like mommy here, what to do, so
Yeah.
as women, we need to encourage the younger generation as well.
Yeah.
I'm only 35
Mm-hmm.
this year, but 35. But when I see, younger, teenagers, people in their 20s, I'm like, hey, you got this.
Yeah. Keep
They
on
know-
going. Yes. You're
Yeah,
good. Yep.
I think to be that voice, and as far as encouraging and letting them know, like, hey, you're gonna make mistakes. I still make mistakes. And
Mm-hmm.
not saying that, and let them know, hey, I'm not perfect.
Right.
So, and I think so now, you can't don't be false flagging, as people say,
No.
false flagging and making it seem like everything is together when it's not.
No.
So everybody a train wreck.
Yeah. And nobody's gonna meet that standard. You trying to be all the way up here, nobody's gonna get there. So let's
Yeah,
keep it real. Like this is where it is.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's kind of like you have to value yourself, value, the women that are around you, that's placed in your life for a reason. It's all about purpose. And so I think that is so important that you uplift, like, hey, let them know we here,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's just a matter of um, like we said in the beginning, identifying,
Yeah.
and upgrading your self-confidence. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah, so it's an ongoing process. It's not
Sure
just
is. It sure is. It
yeah.
sure
So
is.
what when you meet with women, what would be like the most, I guess, encouraging words as far as with just being a woman in general in society, this society,
Yeah.
what would you say as far as, to help build and make sure that you have a great impact on them? Because they're gonna come back to your organization like, hey, yeah, let me see. They gravitate towards good energy.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you would do, as far as to uplift and make sure that they continue to be on.
Mhm. Well, practically what we do is we help you to reach a goal.
Mhm,
So if you came in with a goal, like, so first you identify who you are, and
mhm,
then you talk about what is it that you want to, like we said earlier, what do you want to manifest? What do you want? And we help you to get there. So I would say that the biggest thing is understanding that you are worthy of attaining whatever goal it is that you have. So keep going in that direction and just keep on going. Like no one is perfect. We all got each other. We're here. We're supportive, and we can inspire one another. You have something that someone else is looking for.
yes.
Somebody else is trying to get to where you are right now. And if you keep going, your story is gonna inspire somebody else. So
Mhm,
whatever you've been through, let that be your story. And
mhm,
then you just flourish. Somebody else is gonna come behind you and ask you, well, how did you do that? You
yeah,
know?
yeah,
So just understanding that you're worthy of whatever it is you are trying to attain. So I
absolutely.
say that to them. I say it to myself. It's to everybody, to
Yeah,
be honest.
absolutely. Yeah, honesty is the key.
Mm-hmm.
You got to
Mm-hmm.
be honest with yourself. And I think
Yeah.
people, like we said before, just everybody want to sweep it under the rug. like, oh, it's nothing wrong with me. No, I'm good. And behind closed doors, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think that, just developing an action plan,
Mm-hmm.
executing it,
Mm-hmm.
manifesting it, and,
Mm-hmm.
make it do what it do. Like,
Yeah.
take charge of your life, your being,
Mm-hmm.
ask God to give you direction.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important, have God in, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
spiritual, being, or, things that you do to practice as far as religion, or, I think that you have to go to the source. You created me to do
Sure.
it, you
For
know.
sure. Yep.
So I think that is the most important thing ever. So
I agree.
and I'm just happy that we had this healthy conversation, and be able to converse about, self-worth, or,
Mm-hmm.
as far as self-confidence, and,
Mm-hmm.
getting in the habit of, I talk to myself. Everybody think
I do too. I do too.
I,
Especially now, the
yeah,
pandemic, I'm in the
yeah,
house. So, yes. And
yeah.
if you're going to talk to yourself, you got to make it positive.
Listen,
I
so,
was reading a book. I didn't mean to, I
no,
don't
no,
mean to cut. I
no,
was reading a book and it was like saying, what if you had a best friend and they were around you all the time and all they did was criticize you all the time, every day, all day? Would you keep them as a best friend? So it's like that's your voice in your head.
Mhm.
Are you going to keep listening to that voice? It's natural, obviously we're going to have thoughts, but are you going to absorb it and let that be who you are?
Yeah,
You got to be like, nah,
yeah,
I'm not accepting that.
yeah,
Nope.
yeah. What's
This
the
is
name of the book? Or
The Untethered Soul.
oh,
Yeah, by Michael Singer, The Untethered Soul.
okay.
It's about changing your mindset.
Wow.
Hmm.
This it comes with self-worth as well. It is. You have to change your mindset.
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm about to check that out.
Yeah, you should. It's a great book. Hmm.
Yeah, definitely have to. So if anybody have any questions,
Hmm.
comments, let me know. Put it in the chat so we can answer things like that. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you for coming on the
Sure.
podcast.
This is a great topic, by the way. I really love talking about this because this has been a whole journey for me in my life. So if
Yeah,
anything I can do to help and be there for other women, I
yeah,
just wanted to be able to do that. So,
yeah.
and
How is
thank you for what you're doing.
no problem. How has your journey as far as rediscovering, I guess, you? How has
Mhm.
that been for you?
I guess it's like a it's like a roller coaster ride. You know what I mean? It's not like straight. It's like ups and
Yeah,
downs and things like that. But I think
yeah,
that's what makes life interesting. Like one minute you're like, okay, I'm good. Okay, I got this. The next minute you're like, wait a minute, what's happening?
yeah,
And it teaches you lessons each time. But I can definitely say that I'm better now than I was like 10 years ago. Like I can like literally see the progress. And,
yeah.
and a good thing about journaling is like you can look back at your past entries and you'll be like, man, that's what I was talking about. Oof.
Let me tell you, it's scary.
You're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm good. I'm good. I'm not going through that no more. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So
So I got a question. How do you feel about dumbing down for a relationship?
mm, no. You dumb down for nobody, period.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah. Because when you dumb down, you'll dumb down everything else.
Yep.
I just recently learned that. I
Mm-hmm.
recently
Mm-hmm.
learned, like, I even no, I recently learned that. Like, I can't. First of all, we're light, we shine. And
Mm-hmm.
like, why would I dim my light for somebody that's not even, I hate to, not even
Yeah.
worthy of experience the light.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I think
Mm-hmm.
um I think that is more so like, no, I think you shouldn't have access to me. If I have to feel like,
Mm-hmm.
or if I have to make myself
Mm-hmm.
comfortable, then I can't. I'm not gonna do
Mm-hmm.
that. So yeah, um, dumbing down will have you miserable in a relationship. Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
And resentful because you're not gonna like that person after a while.
Yeah. Then you start not liking yourself because you're
Yep.
tolerating it. And
Mm-hmm.
or a friendship. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah. And this is where the self-worth come. Am I, like, is this worth it? Am
Yeah.
I worth this?
Yeah.
Am I worth the time to put in for it to be wasted or, manipulated or,
Mm-hmm.
be people, they're careless in their actions.
Mm-hmm.
And then why do I have to tolerate?
Mm-hmm.
That's self-inflicting pain.
Yeah.
This to myself. And
No. Mm-mm.
I already know the consequences afterwards.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? So it's
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can't. You can't dumb yourself down. Like it's
No.
not. Yeah. So it's kind of like now we have to take the responsibility.
Yeah, you got to be like, okay, what am I going to accept? I'm not accepting that. And they could be like, sometimes you're scared, like, well, okay, well,
Yeah.
they might walk away.
Yeah.
Well, then
Yeah.
they're going to walk away. That means they're not for you then.
Yeah.
That's a harsh reality, but it's like they're not for you. The person for you is going to be like, no, shine. I
Yeah.
want to see you to glow up. Like, that's what I want to see.
Yeah. And I think that's what someone said. Chrissy said, "Who the heck has time to waste?" Right.
Yeah.
We only got one, and we might as well live
Mm-hmm.
it to the fullest. And I
Mm-hmm.
just come to the conclusion, like that's what I'm gonna do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
period. Like I can't go backwards. I gotta go forward because if
Yeah.
I go backwards, then it's kind of like reactionary, and then I'm gonna pick up on old bad habits,
Yeah.
and I don't have any boundaries.
Yeah.
And and I think that's with every topic, boundaries always come into to the conversation because it's
Mm-hmm.
all about boundaries. And people,
Mm-hmm.
I think, more so have to set boundaries and say, hey,
Yeah.
this is not what this is. So and I think that people are scared because if they set boundaries, they're not going to fool with them or be bothered. But if they respect you enough, they would
They
do so.
will. They
Yeah.
will. They will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good, Chrissy. Yeah, like yeah, but no more dumbing down and no more accepting anything.
Mm-hmm.
As someone said, look, you can't let nobody spit in your face and tell you it's raining.
Okay.
And I think that's a great analogy when you think of like, oh, yeah, yeah, like don't
Uh-huh.
allow people to do whatever they want to do with you.
Yeah.
I told my mom, you don't let nobody do that, And I was like, okay, but now, growing up,
Uh-huh.
didn't understand it, but now I understand that. Like you can't, it gotta be levels. Like, no,
Yeah.
cut
Yeah.
off don't need to be strong. Like,
Mhm.
nope, can't do it. So
Yeah.
I think even if it's hard because sometimes you love the person
Yeah.
or you're, in a committed relationship and you're in love with that person.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to disconnect because it's like
Yeah.
I'm familiar with that,
Yeah.
so it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like what do I do? But if it's not beneficial to both parties, then it's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
work. So yeah.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep.
I'm learning. I'm learning by the day.
Yeah. It's
Bye.
harder. It's harder once you're already in it. Like if you've been in it for some years or something,
Yeah,
or even some months, it's harder to walk away
yeah,
than to decide in the beginning, like how you gonna deal with it.
yeah,
So that walking away piece is no joke. No
yeah,
joke. Especially if that person is like, oh, well, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna do this and that. Then you gotta decide, okay, well, how much time am I gonna give them? And
yeah, yeah.
all that. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Someone says you have to love yourself more. I learned that the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You have to sometimes you have to, like I keep saying, you have to unlearn what you learn.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you gotta unlearn that. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
the mind wants or what the body craves, you kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I want that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of like you
Like
gotta,
a habit.
yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta kill it. Like
Yeah.
get it from the root and just chop that thing up in pieces.
Whew. Yeah.
It's hard.
It
And I
is
don't think,
very hard.
yeah, yeah. I just think that that we just need to go back to the core and fall in love with ourselves all over again. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm doing at this present moment, fall in love with Shakia all over again. it's not easy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
But it's beautiful. So,
yeah,
you know, what happens when you fall in love with yourself is you realize like how talented and amazing you are. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
you start doing things, you start, you know, ventures and businesses, and you start doing things and you're like, wait a minute, I thought I didn't know I was, you know, like this, but I am, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Had you stayed in a relationship that didn't suit you, you might not have even explored all of these things. So,
yeah,
you know, I think that's important
yeah.
when you do fall in love with yourself.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
All over again. Like it's a daily thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, all right. I love you too, Christy. She said, I love you. I love you. I love you. But no, I really, really appreciate you. That kind of sums up. I think
Yeah.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. And
Wow, it's a great
as my grandma,
conversation.
look, as my grandma say, don't talk you nobody dry. And I was like, all right, don't talk you dry. But I really, really appreciate your conversation and your intelligence and your
Mhm.
beauty, all that good stuff. And this won't be the last at
Mhm.
all. But I just want to say thank you. You know, we're not strangers anymore. I was in her inbox like, hey, you said that. So I want to say thank you. I'm very honored. How can people, reach you or get in contact with you? Where you located so we can, as far as like Instagram, I met her on Instagram. So
Yes. So on Instagram, I'm at Ayaba Rising. That's
mhm.
Ayaba Rising. And Ayaba means queen in Yoruba, by the way. So it's Ayaba Rising on Instagram.
Okay, then. I like that. Okay, cool.
And ayabarising.org. Everything Ayaba Rising.
Okay.
Also have a Facebook group where we just talk about different topics. It's a private group, so anybody can come into the group, but you know, it's whatever you talk about there stays there. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that's where you can find me. Yes, and thank you very much for having me. I really enjoyed this
No
conversation. Mhm.
problem. I'm so excited.
Not
So
strangers anymore.
no, at all. We like family now.
Yes.
Everybody that get on, I'm like, we family now. I can hear my mom. You always making somebody feel. I can't help it. I just love on people. So, but yeah. So everybody tune in next week. The next week's topic, we're talking about outgrowing people.
Mm.
So yeah, I got some hitters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
Like
you get
we,
right to it.
giving the people what that like things that come up in my mind. Like, oh, we can talk about this,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so I just want to normalize mental health is for the people, for the culture. So
Mhm.
everybody tune in. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Make sure you share it. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And you guys have an awesome and an incredible Sunday, the rest of the Sunday. All right. Love you guys. Bye.